Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to do another update to the story titled, Help, my brother's wife took off with the kids and I worry he's going to hit the wall. And guys, that story which I've been covering this week, again as a recap, is all about the guy who wrote in to me on behalf of his older brother. His older brother is going through a really hard time because his wife took the kids. Well, two of his stepkids and the biological kid between he and his wife. You're going to see that this guy, he got involved with this woman who was a single MOM, who was in the past supposedly a junkie, and the two kids that she had were from two different baby daddies that were waiting for it, junkies. Not exactly the type of girl you take home to mama. But this guy himself had a past of substance abuse, and I guess they thought together they could get past it. They got each other, I don't know what. Got together with her, married her, and had a kid together. And to no surprise, a lot of drama and turmoil, and no making her happy, and just after a lot of drama, she up and left and took all the kids, including his own biological kid. The guy's melting down, having a hard time, and the young guy wrote in asking for my help. I offered my advice, asked a lot of guys in the comments in law enforcement or legal practice to give advice, and you did. Part 2 is him giving more updates that now they've been talking with they've been working things out. They're going to have her served and all that, even though, guess what? It turns out she has a restraining order against him. It's a lot of drama. And now here we are into part 3, where, as it turns out, the younger brother told his older brother about me and the channel, and the brother had some information about that and all that. So again, I thought it'd be a good one to cover here because this guy really needs help. He's going through a hard time, and this is why I do what I do, to help guys that are in trouble. And by having this platform, you guys can chime in as you always do and offer pieces of advice or funny comments to help these guys out, because he needs it. But before I go into the main event, I got a short story here about a guy who's also looking for my help. The situation he's dealing with his girlfriend's mother. And this might be a situation that some of you guys that do relationships might find yourself in, and how to handle it best way. So the first story says here, hello SSM. I have a question for you, and I think you're the right person to ask this. I have no one else to ask. First of all, before you start reading this, I need to inform you that in my country, marriage is sacred. People don't hoe around like in most countries do. My girlfriend is very oriented and was a virgin before she met me. I wasn't her first boyfriend, but she was a virgin. Her family is semi-rich and I came from nothing. Everything I have is what I worked for. Well, good for you being a self-made man. And you said in your country, marriage is sacred. Country, what planet are you from that is going on now? Me and my girl have been together for over 3 years now and will soon move in together. He says, I'll probably have to dodge a big smack right about now. Yeah, smack. You don't move in with him unless you think about marrying him. The issue I have is with her mother. She hates me from the very beginning and for no reason. I invited her and her new partner to dinner and she said no. She made more than enough effort to show me that she dislikes me and wants nothing to do with me. She warned my girlfriend to break up with me, and no, we didn't have any issues. She once returned a gift I gave to her for Christmas, which was probably the biggest F you could get from the situation. I didn't get anything from her. Well, right off the bat, when I read this first, I'm thinking because your girlfriend comes from a, as you say, semi-rich family, and you come from nothing, her mother wants her daughter to be with some guy that obviously comes from some wealth that can help bring them up. She sees you, even though you are a hard-working, self-made guy, as beneath her. So she's obviously trying to sabotage it, and she's obviously doing a good job. There were a few issues with her behavior and her being rude and cunning just to try and manipulate her daughter to accept her stepdad. But I never progressed any further than that because I always called her out and I always knew she was trying to manipulate me. She objected in my presence for family birthdays, holidays like Easter, Christmas, or New Year's Eve. My girl couldn't convince her to let me come, and when I found out she didn't want me there, I said, it's okay, it's how she wants to play it. But if it's going to be like this, now I will stay like this forever, and her mom will regret her attitude. Yeah, her mom's trying to put a wedge between you and your girl. It's not the first time in history that's happened. So before every upcoming event, I told my girlfriend I'm not going, so don't even ask them. Be with your family, and I'm okay with being alone, since my family is really not into celebrating holidays. I'm used to being alone, and I'm used to being hated, which is why her mother hating me doesn't really bother me. I'm extremely comfortable with being hated or disliked. Dude, you're not fooling anybody. Of course it bothers you. If you didn't write it, you wouldn't be writing it if it didn't bother you. Or at least, it's bothering you because it's messing up the situation with you and your girlfriend. My girlfriend chose to come over and stay with me for the holidays, which always made her family angry since it was a tradition. Well, her mother's putting a wedge between you two, so what do they expect? They said, what if I joined them and I rejected the offer because of her mom, like I said I would? The thing is, her mom started to behave a bit better and started wishing me happy birthday all on her own, and even invited me for dinner once me and my girlfriend came from our vacation, which I declined. Her mom started to ask more and more about me and even said that we can go use their family vacation apartment, which I said hell no to that, and I'd rather spend 14 days in a tent than accept anything from her. So her mother's done a 180. Imagine that. And I call bullshit on all this. I think her mom's doing it all on purpose. First, the mother tried to drive a wedge between you two because she obviously doesn't think you're good enough for her daughter. I'm convinced of that. And then when it has caused problems with her daughter, now she's suddenly trying the nice routine, inviting you to do things and blah, 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 which of course, because of her prior behavior, you're saying, hell no. And now the mother can put on the act like she's trying so hard, and now your girlfriend can blame you because you're not doing these things. Her mother is full of crap. Her mother is a master manipulator, and you don't need that. And I'll get more to that in the end of this story here. I always tell you, watch what the family's like, and that could affect you. It says here, she once bought some delicious and expensive pastries, which can be bought in only one small part of the city in my country. And I said, I can drive my girlfriend there, but I won't go or accept anything from her. I also said to my girlfriend to pass her the message that she never has to buy me anything because I will never accept anything. She'll just be wasting her money. My girlfriend mentions from now and then that she thinks her mom has changed and that I should forgive her, but I never do. See? She's starting now. Her mother's doing a great job. It's bullshit. Her mother hasn't changed. She's just switching tactics. We had this talk when her mom was a total B, and I said to her, if she continues to treat me like crap, she won't get any better attitude from me, and the rest of her life, she didn't listen. Now her mom is trying to patch things up because every holiday I don't join them, and my girlfriend blames her for it and stays with me. Should I forgive her? I am cold-hearted personality by default, and I do know how she feels and what she feels when I reject her peace offers. My girlfriend wishes I would forgive her, but understands why I won't. What would you do in this situation? Thank you, and I hope you read this. It would be a shame if my message collected dust in your spam box. Well, bro, here's what I think, like I said before. Her mother doesn't approve of you, no doubt, because you come from nothing and you're a self-made man, making something yourself with what you have in this world. She obviously comes from money, which I'm sure she didn't make, I might add. And she probably thinks her daughter should be with somebody higher up in the on the pyramid. And that ain't you. So she's been trying to sabotage in the beginning by pushing you away. When that didn't work and you didn't go away, and that caused a rift with her daughter, now she's switching tactics, where she's now playing the nice mom, wanting to invite you to things, and you're now turning her down, which nobody can blame. So now that's still a rift between her and the daughter, but now your girlfriend is obviously has issue with this and may think that you aren't giving her mother a chance, even though you know her mother's full of shit. So it really is a screwed up situation. So the way I see this, bro, you got pretty much one of three choices here. Choice number one, you could stay with your girlfriend and bury the hatchet as best possible with her mother, even though you know darn well her mother's full of shit and can't stand you, and you're obviously a relationship guy. You'll probably marry her and have kids, and the whole time knowing that the mother can't stand you, and there's all this lingering drama in the background, which I'm sure she'll start up again, trying to make your life a living hell. Deal with that, all for some girl. Sound fun? Option two, you tell your girl that we can be together, but I'm having nothing to do with your mother, and that will be a continuous rift between your girlfriend and you, and the girl and the mother, and drama and turmoil. Or if the girlfriend decides, or it gets so bad she has nothing to do with her mother, which would just be a problem, so you can't win there either. Or option three, you end the relationship and you walk away. Yeah, you love your girl, I'm guessing, but you know what? Is it really worth it to spend your time with her and have all this drama with her family constantly, whether you bury the hatchet with a mother or not? Really, is it worth it? My opinion, no. You end it with her and you move on. And if you've watched me long enough, you know darn well that there's the whole concept of the one girl out there for a guy, the one. It's bullshit. There are 8 billion people on the planet, half are women. You can find other girls that you can click with. Sure, finding a gal that you really click with does not happen every day. But guess what? You can, and you will get over her. And I tell you all the time, you don't just pay attention to the girl and all her ways and habits, also her family. If there's a lot of drama and turmoil with her family, run. If her family brings up drama brings drama into your life, has a problem with you, run. You don't need it. Her mother's not going to change. And some people might say, hey, if you walk away and end up with a girl, the mother wins. Well, there really is no winning in this situation. There's just degrees of losing. If you stay with her and so-called bury the hatchet with the mother, you're still losing because there's always going to be bullshit going on with the mother. If you stay with the girl and say, I don't want anything to do with your family, there's always going to be bullshit with your girlfriend or eventual wife because you don't want anything to do with her family. So you don't win there either. And you walk away, yeah, you don't win because you lose her, but then at the very least, you start over and don't have that bullshit in your life. So there's more degrees of losing than actually winning here. But you can't care about her. The only win you have is that you lived a life that you want. So if it was me, I'd walk. End of story. Tell the girl that you love her. It's been great, but you just simply cannot be a part of this whole thing. You can't win either way. The mother has not changed. She's only trying a new tactic to get what she wants. And that's that. And wish her the best. And I know you don't want to do this. Guarantee you don't want to do this, but I'm telling you, from the perspective of a middle-aged man in my mid-40s, I've been around the fucking block, and I have been with girlfriends, had family, didn't like me, shocker, and I know what it's like. You don't need that shit, you know, and if you married her and had kids, it will always be something, always, and it's just not worth it. So, bro, that's what I think you ought to do, and it'll take time to get over. You've been with her 3 years, but you will. Focus on things that you enjoy doing. Focus on hanging out with your bros, bettering yourself. And if you're a relationship guy, one day you'll meet some chick down the road. There won't be drama with her family, and you'll have things, and you'll have a potential to have something nice. Especially if you watch my channel and know what to look out for and what not to do, and obviously behaving in a manner that a gal's going to respect. Standing up for yourself, checking her on her BS, and there's always going to be some BS, and know what to say and do and what not to do. So I wish you the best, but I would not stay with this gal in the situation. And she could be a great girl. And honestly, not her fault, but you know what? It's not your job to be a white knight and a savior and feel bad for her, because you know what? You know what happens to those guys, so that's what I think. So, all right, guys, now we're on to the main story here with the brother. The update is, he says, hello, SSM. I decided to open up and tell my brother about the video you did about the entire situation, with his wife taking the kids and everything. He laughed his ass off at the parts with you being funny, and he's not all pissed off at me for telling you about the entire situation. He said it really shows I care about him and just wanted to help. Awesome. Well, welcome, older brother. I'm glad that you are not pissed off at your younger brother. He's trying to help. I'm glad you liked the video, and I hope you watch lots of my videos to help you on your path to getting your life back together and obviously getting your kid back. Then right away, he went to watching your part 2 that you just did the whole thing on, and he said he loves you and your content. He even commented on part 2 saying that he is the one that this story is about. So yesterday, after family court with getting the papers filed for our visitation rights, we then went later to my brother's wife's job to serve her the papers. And she was not there. So we went to her parents' house where she's been staying with the kids, but I wasn't the one who served her. Our friend Jared did, and I stayed behind a tree secretly recording it with my phone while staying out of sight, just in case anything went south. Dude, email me some of those video clips. I want to see. I can't put them here on YouTube, and of course I won't, but I can still watch them. Her stepdad answered the door instead and said, "Who the F are you?" and was clearly drunk. He's an alcoholic. Shocker. But everything went well. My brother's wife wasn't home, but my friend saw Jack, one of my brother's stepkids, and after we left and Jared told my brother he saw Jack when he was at the door, he was immediately crying because of knowing his kids were right there and yet he couldn't see them. It's been torture for him. I'm sure it's been torture for him, and I'm sorry for that, but he has to stay strong. This is the hardest thing probably ever has to go through, and he has to stay strong for the kids. Or let's be honest, kid. I'm sure he loves those stepkids, and they were probably great kids. It's not their fault. Their mother's an asshole, and she got involved with those junkies. It's not the kid's fault, and I feel bad for them. But his primary concern is his biological child. In the meantime, I'm now staying over my brother's apartment for a while so that he isn't alone. Good. He needs constantly have someone around that cares. He was initially staying in my house with myself, our stepdad, our mom, and our 2 cats. But our folks told me to stay over at his apartment for a while with him. He flat out told me that he's glad I'm here at his place because he'll do something bad I probably don't even need to mention if I wasn't. He said he'll never ever doing anything like that again, and he hasn't even had a drink. Good. That shows he's really improved, because in the past, the second things, when people that have substance abuse problems, things start going tough and they immediately go back to their old habits to deal with the unpleasant reality of whatever situation it is. Good for you, older brother. We hung out last night with two of my closest friends, including Jared. And it was a fun night and distraction from everything that was going on. Our dad told me today that his wife wanting to leave him, turns out that it's a reaction supposedly to taking antidepressant medications that she was on. So now she's going to take herself off of them and try to make things work with our dad. We got even more bad news today on top of this, though. This morning, our stepdad, who's been going to appointments for about 2 months now every Tuesday, found out from the doctor that he needs to get open heart surgery ASAP. And that if he didn't go to the appointments for all the stuff until a few months from now, or even wait a year, that he'd be dead by then. Well, when it rains, it pours, huh? And to make matters worse, my stepdad is not optimistic that he's going to survive the surgery because he has a family history of heart issues and none of them who dealt with the heart problems are alive anymore. Well, if your stepdad goes into this with a negative attitude and already convinced himself he's going to die, then he's going to die. He has to turn that around. He has to be the one and say, you know what? My family didn't make it, but I'm going to make it, and be determined. His father died years ago from heart problems, and he told myself and my brother to step up and take care of our mom if he doesn't survive the surgery. So I went to my brother's local church today to pray for our stepdad and for everything else going on to get better. Our stepdad is the only father we ever had, seeing as our dad is barely involved in our lives at all, and took it on us when I was 3 months old. We even got a blessing from the priest there, who, by the way, is my brother's neighbor. The priest is very nice and a cool guy. Likes family, likes guns, whole 9 yards. Sounds like a cool priest. Yes, if this is helping your brother, then absolutely time with you and time with at church and all that, whatever can help him to not crash and burn and go back to his old ways. Yeah, he is not your average priest. My brother told our mother about the videos you did and how much he appreciated your videos, and he wants to see if there's any way of contacting you other than by email. So please let me know if there's any way you can contact him for further guidance, as he really needs it and he wants your wisdom. He even said he'd never give anyone your number or anything if you're able to contact him. We're going to an AA meeting in a little while. Yes, he went back to going to those meetings. He is very serious about staying clean. Good. That's great. He's going to AA. Awesome. I hope I'm sure he has a sponsor. If he doesn't, definitely get a sponsor. That is it for now, and thank you for taking the time to read this. Next time there are any substantial updates, I shall let you know. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, any input is appreciated. My brother read many of the comments in these videos and is welcome to positive and negative comments because he is open to other perspectives. This is Brendan signing off. Well, that's great that your bro is open-minded to listen to the comments, positive and negative. You know, it will help him one way or another to see a perspective from other people that may have been down this road or known somebody down this road. As for the mentioning of reaching out to me, at this time, I don't do anything beyond here on YouTube. A lot of people have asked me in the past if I would do coaching, phone coaching, things like that through Skype or phone or anything like that. I've been asked that for years. Presently now I'm not doing that, but down the road, probably in a year, I'm considering that. A lot of people have asked me, and I'll explore that down the road. But if your brother has questions and needs my help, tell him to email me, and I can help him, and I can put it in a video. That will probably help other guys too, and that's the best I can offer right now, and I'll be happy to do that. I'll bump him up to help him, and all I say is take this one day at a time. You've been great for your older brother. I really respect that. I think it's awesome. Keep going, having him go to AA, go to church, hang out with his friends, and doing everything he can to get that kid back, because she is a piece of garbage. And in time, he will, hopefully things work out for him, and he will heal. But, you know, it's the toughest times that really test what we're made of. Are we going to crash and burn, or are we going to get past all that? And I believe your brother will. He's done a good job there. You know, yes, he's made mistakes in his past, but you know what? That doesn't mean you could have made all the mistakes in the world in your past, but it doesn't mean that that has to be your future. So that's what I think. So, older brother, I wish you the best. Email me your questions or issues and stuff like that, and I'll do what I can to help you out. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about story number 1, and of course, story number 2, to let these guys know what you think. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.